Now I really don't know what was going to be my number 50, what's really going to kick off this list. So I really done a lot, so coming in at number 50, we have the helicopter sequence from Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Just this is going to be the only one Mission Impossible you'll be seeing on this list. In fact, just like I mentioned, I'm going to have at least like 2 or 3 on this list, but I think for the MCU I decided to, it's best not to include multiple, because, I mean, come on. Honestly, I think if I include the MCU, pretty much a lot of this list probably be MCU related, so. Second on this list is the helicopter sequence from Rogue Nation. I mean, Jordan is one of those moments, because, I mean, I think the more Mission Impossible go along, the more insane the action sequence gets. Like, Tom Cruise really is a man when it comes to action, and in terms of how this was directed, how this was handled, Tom Cruise's insaneness and the intensity of the sequence, it is just so, on how it's directed, it is so intense, so thrilling, fun, entertaining, and more likely deserves to pick off this list at number 50. Now from one action sequence to the next, at number 49, we have the Nightclub sequence from John Wick. John Wick. Now, I love John Wick movies. They are amazing action movies, and as much as the only one that you actually will see on the actual list. But I'm happy that we still have these ones. I mean, John Wick was one of the movies that really shouldn't have been as it was, honestly. Like, really should have been as mind-blowing as it was. Like, it's just right how amazing this movie actually was. Like, people were like, whoa, kind of action movie, and it was appealing, like, announced like a month before it was released, and suddenly blew everyone away. Especially with the action, this Nightclub sequence, where how stylized it is, how badass Keanu Reeves is, how crazy a lot of things get. And it just seems that just continue to blow my mind every single time I watch it, and I'm more than happy to see this placement on this list. Now at number 48, we have the doll scene from Booksmart. Booksmart. And maybe that, also, the more I watch it, the more I love it. It is truly and hilarious. Probably one of the funniest, that's one of my favorite comedies this decade, and probably could be of all time, to be honest. But Booksmart really is a hilarious movie. I mean, also it's very different in terms of its storytelling in respect, especially when this sequence in which they end up going to their house, and then basically the two characters, stuff like Kevin Dever and Beanie Fairstill, end up seeing themselves as dolls. If I'm not weird sequence, then it's like everything. Again, if I was saying one thing that makes this movie memorable, is definitely that sequence. A sequence that I could definitely see a lot of people really like it, but how it was executed, a lot of the dialogue that's said, the chemistry between Beanie Fairstill and Kevin Dever, definitely makes the sequence. I laugh out right, and it's always my face to come out to every single time I watch them. I've seen the movie a lot since it's released, and this scene always cracks me up, and it definitely works better on this list. Now at number 47, we have the car scene from The Spectacular Now. I'm trying to remember to be upset that Now was a romance series point done by A24 and it starred Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. This is pretty much before Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley were pretty much exploding on popularity as they are now. And not so much now, but they're pretty much blown up to big stars that they are now. Now, like, first Miles Teller was known as the drinking guy in like films like Footloose and 21 and Over, and Shailene Woodley ended up being that dark, the character in Descendants. This kind of, and I would say it was more last year, the year after, which really kind of blew up stardom, saying Miles Teller. But these films I always consider to be their best performances. As I said, with me with these two, Miles Teller is basically a drunk alcoholic who can't stop drinking, and Shailene Woodley is just a weird shy girl who doesn't have self-esteem and loves manga. And these two have a very great bond with each other that is just, they feel so amazingly. And it's just a beautiful relationship, and get to this car sequence and when Emma tries to crashing, and then she hurt, and then she has getting hurt, and the Miles kind of blames himself for it, trying to stay away from him, and just the emotion in that sequence. She gives me chills every time I watch it. Now at number 46, we have Tiffany and Pat finally get together from Silver Linings Playbook. Now, I know Silver Playbook was going to make it somewhere onto this list. It's The movie is a classic for a freaking reason. It's a truly amazing movie that while I'm not 100% changed from it, it's really how it's directed, how it's handled, how it builds its character, how it talks about serious subject. It's what makes the movie so memorable. It's what makes the movie so beloved to this very day. And say what they were Russell, but the guy can fully direct a movie. And he definitely proves that so last bit, but for me, it's definitely my favorite film of his. Which for me, of all 3 films he's made, he's definitely my favorite. I mean, I don't think I've seen him in Hustle, if I'm being honest, but all those I've seen from him, he's just definitely my favorite of his. And it's really the first thing to kids finally get together, which of course is obvious, but it's really how they build up to it that what makes it so impactful. And the scene that actually happened, which is definitely incredibly acted. And there was something revealed, and Pepette realized that Tiffany was back on her, but she took them all to flies, and then the Valkyrie Devils do have amazing chemistry. And I would, of course, love to see them play movies, probably ever, honestly. They keep having amazing chemistry like this. So that alone puts this moment on this list. Number 45. 45, we have the ending, and also not the only ending list, the ending to Brigsby Bear. This Bear is definitely one of the more underrated movies of this decade. Like honestly, if you hadn't seen Brigsby Bear, I would highly recommend you do. And I also might get spoilers in this movie, which I'm pretty sure, but if I hadn't said already, big spoilers from all these videos, but honestly, Brigsby Bear is one of the reasons I think you should not look at what it is and just watch it. It's one of the reasons where you should just watch it and not know anything about it. Honestly, I went to when I finally watched the movie, and it honestly gets better for me upon a rewatch. And the ending is definitely one of the more impactful endings of this year. This year, where everything is kind of building up to, but Brigsby wanted to make his last episode and get stuff proven from his father and all that, and the reaction that everybody's seeing, and everybody cheering him on, and hugging him, all that. It's just a really impactful ending that is really inspiring and powerful, and just flat out beautiful. Especially the music, the directing, the acting. It's just definitely definitely one of my favorite endings of this decade. And it's not the only ending you will see on this list. This is definitely a very impactful one. Number 44, we have the first meeting between Hiccup and Toothless from the original How to Train Your Dragon. And this is going to be the only more How to Train Your Dragon you will see on this list. I actually did do a top 10 best moments list of this trilogy with a my point that's on my channel. Watch it out as one of my favorites I've done. And definitely a great favorite one. See where I'm still couldn't make this, but of course I choose one from this franchise. For me, my favorite from the original film is definitely the first meeting between Hiccup and Toothless. Also, Hiccup and Toothless are probably one of the best duos in any anime film, probably any film in general. Like, actually, that really built a lot in the next 2 movies. And in the first meeting, it's just beautiful. Everything from the music, the sound design, the character work. It's one of these where it's really the start of a beautiful, warming, loving, awesome, and amazing relationship. And it's definitely more fascinating with this scene, seeing how much the characters really have grown after this scene. Seeing how they are just from there to all the way up here. And the first thing is that always will make me smile every single time I watch this movie. Coming in at number 43, we got the Joe and Decker brawl from Blade Runner 2049. Speaking of also an underrated movie, it had Blade 2049, which is a film that unfortunately bombed at the box office, but it's a film that I honestly adore, and a film that also gets better upon rewatch. It is definitely a long movie, and some would think them still why some people wouldn't like this movie, but I think it honestly delivers on everything it goes for, and professional White, Denis Villeneuve is one of the best directors working in Hollywood today. Like, he is truly an amazing director, and of course I'll say Rob was probably the better movie. This is easily a close second my favorite of his. Everything from the cinematography, the directing, the performances, and also, of course, one of the things that unfortunately marketing is that a lot of people expect Decker to pretty much be a huge part of the movie. I mean, he was on the poster, but he actually isn't really much to dig, honestly. And not like a banana in it, but just know he's not in the movie as much as you think he is. And the first minute you have a joke about Ryan Gosling. It's just an amazing sequence with incredible music, and phenomenal sound design, great tension, great, just amazing. It's not a really typical action sequence, but the emotion and amazement that happens in the scene, especially after these two end up having a discussion after that, makes it worthy of being as high as it's on this list. Now we have to get to another underrated movie at number 42, and that's the final fight from Warrior. Warrior. Two brothers that have pretty much been estranged by the amazing Tom Hardy and the amazing Joel Edgerton. It's one of those scenes that I actually don't want to talk about, honestly, because this movie that you really also check out if you haven't seen it. But I think in terms of the intensity, everything in terms of the emotion, the fight, like this movie has some of the best fight character you will ever see in any film. Period. It is truly an impactful moment with a lot of great emotion and passion to it. It's that moment simply why it is on number 42 on Slate. It's just truly impactful, and it's one moment that you really should see for yourself. Now, before we actually get to my number 41, the last moment in this part 1 video, I'm going to quickly discuss 10 moments that I absolutely loved. They just did not make the list. So you got to see pretty much 100 from 91 in no particular order. The creative wanted scene from The Martian. The opening sequence from Deadpool. Earl yelling at Rachel from Neon and Dying Girl. The actual death scene from Fruitvale Station. The cluck cluck clock tower scene from Hugo. The sound clip scene from The Artist. No Man's Land from Wonder Woman. The Lou and Nina restaurant sequence from Nightcrawler. The wrestling scene from the Peanut Butter Falcon. And lastly, the last one on this, that'll probably be 91, the hide and clap scene from The Conjuring. And all these are downright amazing, phenomenal, and fantastic moments. They just did not really make the list. Now, coming in at number 41, the last moment to make this list. Last moment to make this part 1 of my top 50 best movie moments of the 2010s decade is the one where we see Eduardo, Andrew Garfield, raging at Mark from The Social Network. This is that really has always stuck out to me. Probably the best scene in this movie. Because Social Network is a fantastic movie, and when I recently watched it, and I was watching a lot of David Fincher movies when the virus was brilliant series around like March, I totally forgot how fantastic this movie is. It's really how he makes it as interesting how David Fincher and Stuck makes it as on his Facebook seemed like a compelling drama. Like, and that is sometimes like I don't know what it is. I mean, see what God basically rages at Mark is. This way, a lot of Andrew Garfield's acting ability, and honestly, he probably should have done best one for his nomination, honestly. Or if he does, he probably won, honestly, because he was great. You everything in terms of the emotion, the impact of this movie, the impact of this scene, how it's directed, written, easily makes this moment so incredibly memorable, and easily is the moment that rounds out part 1 of my top 50 best movie moments of the 2010s. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be stay tuned for the rest of the parts that are coming out very soon. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you can, be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites on the description down below. I am Samuel the Views. I'll see you guys next time. As always, fellow worlders, stay cool, everybody. Peace.